Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new campaign that I'm going to be playing through. It's called Forgotten Ruin, the adventure game. It's based on the 5 leagues from the Borderlands rule set. So if you've ever played 5 leagues or 5 Parsecs, it's very much like that. The idea behind this game is you are going to be controlling a modern day army, like a squad of soldiers who have found themselves in a fantasy world with dragons and wizards and orcs and all kinds of stuff like that. And so the miniatures and the terrain that you're going to be playing are going to be a mix of fantasy and modern. Now, what I'm going to do in this particular video is I'm going to get my my squad created, and it all begins on page 17. Now, you can use a book or a journal or whatever. I've got a dry erase board that I created to track mine, and I haven't given them names yet, but you're going to have a platoon leader, a platoon sergeant, and then a squad leader, and then you're going to have 2 fire teams. I have fire team 1 and fire team 2, and there will be a fire team leader. So fire team 1 leader and a fire team 2. So I'll just use the top one out of the 4 to represent the leader. So the way this works is, for my platoon leader, which is this guy, this is sort of the head honcho. The platoon leader will not make many appearances in a game, although you can. Same with the platoon sergeant. The squad leader and the fire teams are generally what you're going to be playing, but again, you can do it however you want. Now, on page 19, it gives you the stats for these different things. For example, the platoon leader has a reaction of 4, a speed of 6, combat of +0, toughness of 3, and a wits of +1. The sergeant has 3 reaction, 5 speed, +1 combat, 4 toughness, and +0 wits. And then the squad leader is 3 reaction, 6 speed, +0 combat. And these scores will be improved over time as they survive encounters and things like that. And then the squad leader also has +1 wits. And then from here, you have 2 fire team leaders. They have 3 reaction, 5 speed, +0 combat, which I always find funny, but you know, they're supposed to be sort of skilled, but that's okay. 3 toughness and +1 wits, and that's for both of the fire team leaders. So let me go ahead and write that in here. All right, like that. Okay, now as for the regular fire team, which is just soldiers, they have a reaction of 2. They have a move or a speed of 5. So not too bad. They have combat of +0. So nothing really huge there. And again, these things will increase over time. You'll have the way to improve them. They all have toughness of 3. And you're going to want to give them names, and I will eventually, if they survive the first scenario. And then their wits are +0. So very, very similar to the 5 leagues and the 5 parsecs from home game in terms of the stats. Now, it says you begin the game with 3 known personalities. One will be the squad leader, one will be a fire team leader, and one will be a regular soldier. Everyone else is considered to be a grunt. Now, what does known personalities mean? It means they will have some little twerks or tweaks to their character that allow you to do unusual things during the game. So what I'm going to do real quick is need some D100s. So red will be high. Each personality gets 2 traits generated by rolling a D100. So let's start with the the squad leader. One will be the squad leader. I rolled a 95. 95 on the character traits is accepting. Now, the way this works, I will write this under abilities, accepting. During a game, if you can have them do something, an action that reflects their trait, there are things that you can do. Each one of them gets 2, so I'm going to roll another one. That's a 41, which is dependable. Okay, that's good to know. Dependable. Now the next one is your fire team leader. I'm going to make that fire team leader 1. That is a 74, which is friendly. And then the second trait is 86, which is insightful. All right, and then last, will you pick a soldier? So I'll pick the first soldier in Fire Team 2. That's a 26, which is resourceful. And 66, which is loyal. So let me read this to you. Character traits. Once per battle round, when a character performs an action that would fit with a trait of themselves or a soldier within 6 inches in line of sight, you can modify the result of a single die up or down 1. So let me give you an example of how I might do this. Let's say resourceful. So let's say this soldier, I see that if I could maybe throw a grenade at a piece of terrain, it might cause it to collapse and block line of sight. That might be considered resourceful or maybe insightful. I don't know. But let's say I do it. It says that when I perform an action that would fit within a character trait of themselves or a soldier within 6 inches, you may opt to modify. So even a character within 6 inches of this one, if they did something resourceful or insightful, I could modify a die. It says only a single die can be modified only once per battle round. Per round. It says the situation must fit under the character trait. It is up to you how you interpret it. I'm not going to do minor aspects because these don't affect the game. And pivotal events, I'm not really going to do that either. So it says on equipment loadout, each fire team receives 2 soldiers get assault rifles. So for gear, I'm going to write assault rifle. Now this is per fire team. So each of the leaders will get an assault rifle. It says 1 soldier with assault rifle and grenade launcher. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to give this guy assault rifle with a grenade launcher. Grenade launcher. And I'm going to do the same on this one. 1 soldier gets an assault rifle with grenade. 2 soldiers get assault rifles in each fire team. So we'll do this. This one will get an assault rifle. And then last, 1 soldier gets a squad. 1 soldier with squad automatic, a saw. Squad automatic weapon. Not bad. That's their loadouts. And as with like the 5 Parsecs and 5 Leagues game, each of these weapons has certain stats and modifiers that will affect that will be used when you're in combat. There is a cheat sheet somewhere. I'm trying to remember where I saw it for the weapons. I'm not going to deal with that right now. All right. It says you may swap one of your grenade launchers for a sharpshooter rifle, and you may replace up to 2 of your assault rifles with shotguns or submachine guns. I think I'm going to stick right now with the assault rifles. 1 soldier in the squad has an anti-tank weapon in addition to their primary weapon. They must be armed with an assault rifle, shotgun, or submachine. So the ones with the assault rifle, I will give them an anti-tank weapon. And I assume you just switch that out. 1 soldier in the squad only. Anti-tank weapon. useful for taking out big creatures. Now it does give you some alternatives that you can name these weapons for different periods of time. Alright, in this game you get story points, victory points, support points, exposure points, and allies. It's a little different than the five parsecs and stuff. When you start, you begin with 5 story points. Now these story points are very powerful because you can use them to do things. When one of your characters attempts an action that requires a d6, you can change the result to any number you like for a story point. When you are attacked, you may avoid all effects of the attack. When making a d100 roll, you may roll twice and pick the outcome or pick one of the 2. Upgrade a soldier to an advance, gain 2 exposure, gain 1 support point, gain 1 ally roll. There's a lot of things you can do with story points, and we'll do that. We'll worry about that when when I start playing the game. All right. That is going to be it. So, remember, well, not remember. In this game, you're going to be playing 12 different scenarios. And then number 13 will be the big boss, the bad guy. You're going to be building up to that. So, I will be tracking the campaign turns here. So, 12 normal turns. Well, I say normal turns. And then 13 is the finale. But in these turns, there are certain things that will happen. There are some significant encounters that will happen at certain key points. Victory points, support points, exposure points, those are things that we'll get into. But as I understand it, exposure points, as you get more of them, it's like your soldiers being in this fantasy land, they could become mutated. They start developing traits that are more fantasy related, like maybe they can cast magic, or maybe they have like scaly armor or something like that. That's here. Support points are things that you can call in like off screen, not on the table. You could call in like air support or artillery. And that will be related here. And then victory points, I think, are used to do upgrades and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do when I play the first game. Now, when I play the first game, which will be in a week, I'm going to release a new video each week. I'm going to be doing what's called field exercises. These are 3 introductory battles that sort of get you used to the rules and the settings and how things work. So, in the first exercise, I'm going to pick one of my 2 fire teams and set them up on one side of the table. You will be facing 2 mobs of 4 orcs each. So, there'll be 4 orcs and 4 orcs. Do not use leadership tactics, aggression, investigation. Okay, so it says the objective is to just to kill all the orcs. So, I will be back in a week. I will have names for my soldiers. I'll have their miniatures picked out. And we will go up against 8 orcs and see how I do. Now, I have played 5 parsecs and 5 leagues. I've played them plenty, so I understand sort of the strategies of the game and how the stats work. But I've never played this game, so it could be a little different. But again, the game is called Forgotten Ruin. It is from Modiphius. And again, it's you can get the book in PDF or hardback. I prefer a hardback version. And maybe you'll play along as I do. All right, that's all I got. This is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Welcome to my campaign of Forgotten Ruin. It will consist of 12 campaign scenarios and then a finale 13. And by the way, when you finish that finale 13, you basically start over, but there are rules that allow you to take some of your soldiers and move them into your new. You start again with 12. You can take certain characters and bring them into your new squad, and they're considered like veterans. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out, and we shall see. All right, that's all I got. Everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.